I talked about ministers in various kinds of places. We have Presbyterian ministers and Catholic priests and Jewish rabbis and all kinds of people. Frequently in a city like Nashville, Louisville, Dallas, Memphis, Atlanta, all these major southern cities around the world, and some up north, we're not sure. They don't send a lot of news south. We do hear that they observe Christmas occasionally up there, but that's about all we know. But one of the things that happens in many cities is the ministers have what we call a ministers' association, where we get together and act nice to each other 2 days a year. And they'll have wonderful programs, and they'll have somebody come in and lecture on some esoteric subject and speak wonderful, warm, thoughtful words and things like this. And everybody claps when it's over. We think it's wonderful. One of the things that ministers do together, which I think is fun in a lot of places, they have a Ministers Association annual Christmas banquet. All get together and celebrate the season, bring our spouses and all get together and just have a wonderful warm time. Joy to the world. We sing and we have wonderful prayers and good thoughts, and it's just a fun time. And they'll put the Church of Christ people at the table with the Baptists, and they'll just smile at each other and know each other's wrong, but they try to tolerate it for 2 hours. And Methodists can get along with anybody, so they put them with the Catholics and the Jewish folks, and all over, just trying to be nice to each other. One such banquet was being held years ago in a fun town, and they're all in here, all celebrating Christmas. Came time for the dessert, and the ushers came in, the waiters came in and brought the dessert. Now, in an adjoining dining room, we had a meeting of the local Kiwanis Club or whatever, one of the local service clubs, and their Christmas banquet was in process, and when it came time for dessert, the waiters by mistake got the dessert switched. And they took the chocolate ice cream and cake that was supposed to go to the ministers to the service club. They took the spiked watermelon that was supposed to go to the service club to the ministers. About halfway through the dessert, the head waiter realized what had happened. His eyes popped out just like, oh no. Rushes over and parts the door about 2 or 3 inches, and he's staring in, and the other waiters are congregated around him saying, what's happening, what's happening? He said, well, the Catholic priest is trying to get seconds. Said the Episcopalian rector is gnawing on the rind. Jewish rabbi is eating his neighbors. The Baptist preacher is collecting seeds. Different kinds of religious groups get wonderful reputations, and some of it is stereotyped. Baptists are supposed to be hellfire and brimstone, all that kind of stuff. And the Methodists are supposed to be kind of laid back and cool, and the Catholics are supposed to swing a lot of incense. We have just, typical stereotypes of each other. Our Quaker friends are called the Friends, and they worship in silence. Now, Baptists know nothing about that. There has not been an acknowledged silence in a Baptist church since the 1st century. The minute it gets quiet, somebody will leap back on the organ bench and start playing until somebody finds their bulletin. We just don't trust silence. Well, our Quaker friends worship in silence, and they have a very different kind of touch. And one of their characteristics that we know about is they're pacifists. They do not believe in violence, and they believe that the way you take the stinger out of war is not to retaliate. There was a wonderful Quaker family that had a grocery store in a little community, and 2 guys decided one night they're going to rob it. And so we got the brains of the group driving the getaway car, and he sends his helper, sort of a Woody Woodpecker variety, into the store to rob the safe. Now, the Quaker family lived in the back of the store. And so the guy that's driving the car says to his dumb accomplice, now all you got to do is go in, break open the safe, and just get the money and come out. And he says, but what if they find me? He said, you got nothing to worry about. These people are Quakers. They don't believe in violence. They're pacifists. They will not harm you. They'll try to talk you out of it, but they will not lay a hand on you. Sure, I'm certain. They're Quakers. Okay. So the guy goes in, breaks the lock, ting, ting, gets inside, ting, 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 ting. He's back in the clank working on the safe. About 4 minutes later, he comes barreling out that front door, leaps in the car, get out of here! He said, where's the money? Go! Oh, and then they roared down the street, man, what are you doing? Get out of here! Where is the money? I didn't get the money. Why not? He said, I got the safe open, and I was raking money in a sack, and I looked up, and there was this fella with a goatee and a nightshirt and a shotgun. And he pointed it right at me. And he said, "Sir, I would not harm thee, but thou standest where I am about to shoot." One thing that Baptists are noted for is evangelism. We go out and take it to you. Come after you. We want you in. And we do things called visitation. We go out and hunt up prospects, knock on doors, invite you to join our church and become part of our group. We do that. In the rural areas, it's a little more difficult, for the farms are spread out, you know. And if you're going to go visiting, you got to plan one road a week and sort of camp in transit till you get it done. The eastern Kentucky mountains, it's even tougher than that. You kind of go up a few houses at a time, pack a lunch, and go back later. Wonderful thing happened several years ago. Fellow's out, pastor of a church, and he's visiting farm to farm, getting acquainted with the folks. And he comes up to this mountain shack over in eastern Kentucky up above Hazard. And anything past Hazard is above Hazard. In fact, it's hazardous over there. And this fella's up visiting in the community, going through all the trying to meet the farm folks and all this, back up in the hollers, as we say. Came to a fella sitting out on his porch, had his arms folded, leaned back in his chair against the wall, a couple of sleeping dogs that didn't even bark when he stopped. Things peaceful and quiet, birds just kind of humming. They weren't even chirping, just an easy afternoon. Comes up to the old fella sitting on the porch, and the Reverend speaks to him. "Howdy do, sir?" He says, "Yeah." Said, "My name is Reverend Johnson. I'm from down here at the Siloam Baptist Church." "Pleased to meet you, Reverend." "What is your name?" "Name's Hawkins." "Mr. Hawkins, good to meet you." "Sir, are you a Christian?" I said, "No, I told you I'm the Hawkins. Christians live 2 farms up on the left." He said, No, that's not what I mean." He said, "Are you lost?" "Oh, no, I've lived here 54 years. No. What I mean is, are you ready for the judgment day?" Hawkins says, "Well, when's that going to be?" He said, "Well, I don't know. It could be day of tomorrow. It could be the next day." He said, "Lord, don't tell my wife. She won't go both times." I'll tell you my favorite story, the funniest thing that's ever happened in my life. This is probably the single fiercest funny moment I've ever known. My freshman year in college, I attended Wayland Baptist College, one of our fine Baptist schools in Plainview, Texas, the most appropriately named town in the world. Plainview, Texas. Any way you look, out of it or into it, it's a plain view. West Texas, as many of you know, is the world's headquarters of nothing. Flat, desolate. In fact, you can stand in the middle of it and see the rest of it. It's an incredible place. People out there love their nothing, though. They build fences around their nothing. They're going to keep your something off their nothing. They will do this. My freshman year in college, I went with my best friend from home, Elmore Averett. Elmore and I were in a quartet with 2 other fellows, Jim Hart and Ed Clark. Ed Clark was from Dallas. When you went from Plainview across to Dallas, you drove about 350 miles across the northern part of West Texas. From there, it was another 130 miles to my home, Jacksonville, which is over in the southeastern part of that area. And it's in what we call the deep East Texas area, the Piney Woods, 90 miles due west of Shreveport. We were going to ride, Elmore and I were going to ride with Ed Clark in his 1950 Plymouth convertible, burgundy with a white top, across West Texas to Dallas. My mother and Dad were going to drive up and meet Elmore and me in Dallas and take us back to Jacksonville. A week later, Ed was going to come through Jacksonville and pick Elmore and me up, and we're going to go spend the weekend together down in Galveston, Texas, and get a little sun and rest up and then go to work for the summer. So we piled the car full in Ed's convertible, and we're going to head across West Texas, go home for the summer. As we got to getting ready for the trip, it began to dawn on us that as we got on the road tomorrow, we could fix the back seat of Ed's convertible in such a way, with boxes and books and duffel bags and pillows and suitcases and all that kind of stuff. And when we put the top back mid-morning, we could actually get up on the back of his convertible and sunbathe and get ourselves ready for the trip to Galveston. Typical freshman logic. So we did that. Packed the back seat full, put a couple of army blankets over it, and made us a smooth place